I'm not confident enough to market my practice in the way that I want to, but I need clients. And this is a very common theme that I hear from therapists. We really, as a collective, struggle with imposter syndrome. We don't feel good enough. We're not trained to be, narcissistic and to go out and take over the world, right? We're trained to be compassionate, to be understanding. We're trained to want to help people. And a lot of the times that doesn't always bode well when you're trying to be boastful and get clients. And so, there's two ways to look at this. There's the psychological way to look at that, which is really, if you aren't already in therapy, then you really want to get in therapy, work with a therapist that can really help you work through your shame, work through being vulnerable, work through the imposter syndrome, the not good enough, all of these messages that come up for so many of us. They come up for me all the time. I'm actually in therapy right now working on those exact themes, not necessarily around my business, but this comes up so much all the time for therapists. I think it's what really makes us good therapists is that we can really empathize with a lot of our clients that feel not good enough, right? I'm like, man, I know exactly what you're talking about. But we have to work through it to be able to manage this in our private practices. You have to, I don't care what anybody says, you have to market, and you have to be confident in your marketing, and you have to, spend money to market, and you have to do the work around marketing. So if you have some belief systems or some old traumas or some old wounds that are holding you back from that, then therapy is going to be the way to go. If you've already worked through a lot of that in therapy and you really just need the push, right? Some people are like, no, I've got this, but I just need the accountability. I need the push. Then a private practice coach is probably going to be the way that you want to go. You want to work with somebody who can hold you accountable. Working with a private practice coach really transformed my practice, really helped me learn a lot of marketing tools that were going to be helpful to me building and really putting systems in place and really a format for my practice. And so if you are here right now saying, I need confidence, I need help, I need more clients, and you haven't hired a business coach or done some kind of courses or done something of that nature for your practice, then it's probably time for you to do that. I know for me at every stage of the game, I've had either a business coach or I've done some kind of online courses. So I have, done as low as like $200 courses where I, learned a bunch of different materials up into I've done one-day workshops. I've gone to other private practice building workshops, and then I worked with a business coach for 1 full year. And that was really like a grind, and it was really great. So a shout out to Joe Santa, who was my, business coach for the whole year, that really helped catapult me into my practice, into the way that it looks now. And so if you haven't already done that, I really want you to do your research. Not every private practice coach is going to be for you. Everybody has different niches. Everybody has different approaches. Everybody has different people that they work with. So I want you to really make a list of maybe 5 private practice coaches that you've seen. Maybe you're in their groups. Maybe you're watching their videos. You're listening to their podcast. And I want you to do research about them and see if they're really going to be effective for you. A lot of them will jump on a call. I remember my call with Joe, and I was telling him about like all of my, goals that I had for my practice, both personally and professionally. And during that call, it was really apparent that we would be a good fit to work with each other. I've had calls with other people. I'm like, nope, not going to work. Right. And so that's one thing that's really great about coaches is that they will really take that time to get to know you. They'll really take that time to see if you're a good fit. Most coaches won't work with anybody because they want to have a good reputation. So they're going to work with people who are really a good fit, both in terms of their niche and in terms of readiness. If you're in the pre-contemplation or contemplation stage of change, for those of you who are familiar with motivational interviewing, you might not be a good fit for a private practice coach. That's why I talked about maybe going to therapy to work on your levels of motivation, to work on whatever is holding you back to get you into the, preparation and action stage of your private practice. So I really want you to think about using those same tools to really find out where you're at in terms of your private practice and in terms of your feelings of shame and not good enough, and work through that at whatever stage you're at, and then move on to the next stage. So then that way you can really flourish in private practice. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, TherapyNotes. If you're looking for a full service electronic health record that can really help you build your practice, really help you monitor things like revenue, notes, treatment plans, discharge plans, all the things that go into running a successful practice from a systems perspective, I want you to check out TherapyNotes. So let's go back to marketing. In a video this week, I talked about Nike and just do it. Unfortunately, that is also true when it comes to marketing. Just do it. You have to get up. You have to get out there. You have to put your marketing out there. You have to hire companies. You have to hire resources. You have to hire coaches. You have to hire, different people. You don't have to, spend all your money hiring people, but you need to hire appropriate people to help you build your practice. It's probably pretty hard for a lot of people to do it on their own unless they just happen to be a marketing genius, happen to be a systems genius, or they happen to have a marketing degree. Most people need help, and that's not wrong. That's not bad. It's actually really wonderful to ask for help and to get the appropriate resources that you need to be successful. I think that goes, across the board for anything. You need to have the right resources for you. So I hope that this has helped those of you who are working on building your private practices. If you're stuck in your private practice, please think about either hiring a therapist, hiring a coach, or working through what you have going on within you so that you can do what you are meant to do. You are meant to be a therapist. You are meant to shine. You are meant to serve your clients. And I believe that you can do that. I am here most days at 3 answering your questions. Send me a message and I am happy to be here and answer what you have. Okay, see you soon, everybody. Bye.